Good morning, students. I am Munshi Rashidul Islam, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, JIS College of Engineering. Now, today we have discussed about the last day's continuing part. That means the application of different application of forces. So, last day we have discussed the parallelogram law of forces and their applications and how to find out the resultant force by the help of parallelogram law of forces. Now today we have discussed the triangle law of forces, polygonal law of forces, and the different types of force application that also carry on in today's class. Triangle law of forces, that means the triangular shape can also get when the forces are acting on a body. That means the triangular law of forces state that if the two forces acting simultaneously on a particle that are represented in magnitude and direction by the two sides of a triangle, and which are actually taken in order, and then their resultant is represented in magnitude and direction by the third side of the triangle, which is actually taken in opposite order. Now if you see the two forces acting, that is actually F1 and F2, the triangular, if you get the shape of a triangle, the third side will be OB joint side, and that side is actually known as a triangle shape of a triangle law of a forces. So that means F1 by sine theta minus alpha, as per the figure that I draw in the screen. F2 is equal to F2 by sine alpha, that also equal to R by sine theta. Now resultant forces. Now the resultant of a number of coplanar concurrent forces by a polygonal law of forces. That means vector diagram also we draw here. So polygonal law of forces is applied on for finding the resultant of a number of coplanar forces that will acting at a point, and it is a graphical method. It states that if a number of forces acting simultaneously on a particle are represented in magnitude and direction by the side of the polygon, which are actually taken in order, and their resultant is represented in magnitude and direction by the closing sides of the polygon, which are actually opposite order. So first one is actually the space diagram, where on the four types of forces are acting around the point O. So then the vector diagram, that is actually from point O we can draw F1 force to OA, then F2 force AB, and the F3 forces BC, and F4 forces for CD. And obviously if you draw or if you plot a polygon, so obviously one sides are required. That side is if you join the sides, that is O to D, that means OD, and that direction will be in opposite to the continuation part of the polygon. So that is actually opposite sides vector diagram. Now the application of one problem that I describe here, and if you see the problem, how to solve and how to find out the resultant force. So first of all, read the problem. So problem number 1, that means the two forces of 100 kilonewton and 150 newton are acting simultaneously on a point So what is the actual resultant of these two forces, and if the angle between them is 45 degree. So all the values are given here. That will be actually F1 is equal to 100 Newton, F2 is equal to 150 Newton, and angle between the F1 and F2, that means theta is equal to 45 degree. So as per the equations that I know from the resultant forces, that is equal to R is equal to root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos theta. So if I put all the values, we can get the result, and that will be actually R is equal to 232 Newton. So that is actually the process how to find out the resultant value with the help of the different magnitude of the forces and also the angle between the two forces. That is actually another type of problem, some more difficult rather than the previous problem. So suppose the two forces acting at an angle that is actually 120 degree. The bigger problem is of 40 Newton. The bigger force is 40 Newton, and the resultant is perpendicular to the smaller one. The resultant is perpendicular to the smaller one. So find the smaller force. So first of all, draw the diagram, and if you see the diagram, so the pink color value, that will be actually R, and the angle between the two forces, that is equal to 120 degree, and the angle between BOC, that is equal to 90 degree. So the angle between the AOC is equal to 120 degree. So bigger force is equal to F1 is equal to 40 Newton, and the angle between the resultant force, that is BOC, is equal to 90. So let us see the F2 is equal to smaller force in Newton, and from the geometry of the figure we can find out the AOB angle is that will be actually alpha. So AOB angle is equal to 120 minus 90, that is equal to 30 degree. Now if I put the resultant force equation, that is equal to alpha, parallelogram law of forces equations are tan alpha is equal to F2 sin theta by F1 plus F2 cos theta. So alpha is equal to 30 degrees. So tan 30 is equal to F2 value is unknown, sin in theta sin 120 by F1 means 40 plus F2 unknown and cos 120, and then after putting the all value we can get the calculation value, that will be actually F2 is equal to 20. So that is actually the value of the smaller force, that is actually 20 Newton. Another problem here, that is equal to problem number 3. Here discussed three different conditions also be there. That's why we can discuss the different types of problem related to the parallelogram law of forces. So now find the magnitude of the two forces such that if they are acting at a right angle, and resultant is root 10 Newton, but if they act at 60 degree, their resultant is root 13 Newton. So here the two cases are also be there. First of all, consider the two forces acting at right angle. So that's why the angle between the two given forces is 90 degree. So therefore root 10 is equal to root of F1 square plus F2 square. So 10 is equal to F1 square plus F2 square. Similarly, the angle between the two forces is 60 degree when the resultant force is R. That means root 13 is equal to root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos theta. Squaring both sides, 13 is equal to F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 0.5. So F1 F2 is equal to 3. Now f1 plus f2 square is equal to f1 square plus f2 square plus 2 f1 f2. Here f1 f2 is equal to 3. Now putting the value in terms of f1 f2. So f1 square plus f2 square is equal to 16. So f1 plus f2 is equal to root 16, that means 4. Similarly f1 minus f2 square, again calculating, squaring up, and f1 f2 in f1 f2 we put the value in 3. So that's why f1 minus f2 square is equal to 4. So f1 minus f2 is equal to 2. Now solving this equation, we can get f1 is equal to 3 and f2 is equal to 1. Now method of resolution for the resultant force. So first study the figure. That figure means component force vector, resultant and component force vector in horizontal. So in these cases we can find out the 3 cases. That means they resolve all the forces horizontally and find the algebraic sum of the all horizontal components. That means if in horizontal cases h1 h2 h3 dot 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 up to hn, so in these cases we can calculate summation of h, that means all summation of all forces. So resolve all the forces horizontally and add them. Next point, resolve all the forces vertically and find the algebraic sum of all the vertical components. So similarly a v1 v2 v3 dot 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 up to vn. So in these cases we first of all we can find out the value of v1 v2 v3 and then summation of v is equal to summation of all the forces which will act vertically. Now the next point, the resultant of R, that means resultant force R of the given forces will be given as equation R is equal to root of summation of h square plus summation of v square. Now the resultant force that will be at inclined angle, and that's why tan theta is equal to summation of v by summation of h. So some notes are also be there. That means the value of the angle theta will vary upon the values. That means summation of v and summation of h as discussed below. That means when summation of v is positive, that means the resultant makes an angle between 0 and 180 degree. But when summation of v is negative, the resultant makes an angle between 180 and 360 degree. When summation of h is positive, that means resultant makes an angle 0 degree to 90 degree or 270 to 360 degree. But when summation of h is negative, that means the resultant makes an angle between 90 to 270 degree. Here another problem, application problem of resolution of forces. So you have different types of point that will act at an point A. So that means the forces 20 Newton, 30 Newton, 40, 50 and 60 Newtons acting at one of the angular point with the angular hexagon towards 1/5 angular point. Calculate, taken in order, and find the magnitude and direction of the resultant forces. So all the forces are 20 Newton, 30 Newton, 40 Newton, 50 Newton and 60 Newton. All the forces acting towards the angular point. And first of all, magnitude of the resultant forces, that means resolving all the forces horizontally along AB. So summation of h is equal to 20 cos 30 cos 0, 20 30 cos 30, 40 cos 60, 50 cos 90 and 60 cos 120. Now putting all the values, and then we can get summation of h is equal to 36 Newton. Similarly resolving all the forces vertically. So in terms of cos, we can write here the sine. That means 20 sine 0 to up to 60 sine 120 degree. So if I put all the value, we can get 151.6 Newton. Now for the resultant force, that means R is equal to root of summation of H square plus summation of V square, and then we can get R is equal to 155.8 Newton. Now deduction of the resultant force, that means angle theta. So theta tan theta is equal to summation of V by summation of H. So summation of V 151.6 and summation of H 36, that means 4.2. So the theta is equal to 76.6 degree. Since both the value are positive, therefore the angle of the resultant force lies between 0 to 90 degree. So another similar type of problem are also be there, and we can follow the problem. And again, if you follow the problem, you can study in this problem and solve this problem in your home tasks, as that is already discussed here, and the process how to calculate here. So thank you for today's class. Next day we can discuss with the new topic in this module. Thank you.